Hey, viewers, George here to do an Hey, viewers, George here to do an impressional talk about me talking about this game that came out earlier this week. The game being Double Fine's The Cave. Now, if you haven't heard about this game, then you may have been living under a rock. I'm safely assuming you might have been living under a rock or in a cave. So The Cave is Double Fine's newest game, and the whole point of the game is the puzzle-solving elements of it, because it's a successor, like a spiritual successor in a sense, of Maniac Mansion or Monkey Island, and especially considering the guy that did those has also worked on this game. And you choose 3 of these adventurers, I guess, or like these people to go in this cave so they can find their ultimate desires, essentially. And each one's fairly different, and what makes them interesting is each of them have their own little special abilities, which I will get to in a second. Okay, so the overall neatness about this game is, other than it looks really nice, is it's hilarious. Just the cave itself is has like this inner voice sort of thing that basically narrates a little bit. So not to the extent like in Bastion or something like that, but like it sort of like gives you a bit of narration as you progress through the game, and the cave's just really funny when he's talking, and this whole game, it has like this nice little tongue-in-cheek humor to it, which makes it really fun. The puzzles, this game's like puzzle mania, because it's the whole point is you have to like use certain things and have your timing really nicely, so that way you can solve puzzles and whatnot. And you switch between the 3 characters, so you can get to like activate this switch, so like you switch to this character, so that way they can activate something else that would yeah. It's just really cool how it's done. I haven't played the multiplayer. This is you can play with 2 other people, and they obviously play the other 2 survivors, cave dwellers, we'll call them. And but I never tried it. I've tried to look for some videos, but nothing really that helps because it's all local multiplayer. So I don't know if like each player shares a screen or something like that, and then when you switch over to another character, they switch over to that character or something like that. So, I don't know if that's how it is. It might also be different on the Wii U, since one person can use the gamepad as well. I've played this on the Xbox though, so I don't really know what all the other systems or the PCs like with when it comes to multiplayer. But it does have multiplayer. It is there, and it's all localized. Okay, so the characters. The whole almost focal point of this is the characters that you choose, because each character, as you explore the cave, you'll find these cave paintings that opens up sort of like their story a little bit, in just these single frames with a caption below it. And you sort of like get an understanding, and even when you go to look at each of the character, the cave himself will also give you a bit of a quick like summarization of what that character has in their desires and what they want, or like just sort of like leaves it mysterious enough. So characters you get to choose from. I'm trying to remember them all. There's the twins. They're 2 little kids that look really creepy, like very Children of the Corn-esque thing, because they have like glowing eyes and whatnot. There is the time traveler. She come from the future to rewrite the future or something. You got the adventurer. She's an adventurer. You got a scientist. You have a monk, which he's a monk and he wants to find his master. What was the other one? I'm pretty sure there was one more. Oh, and then there's the hillbilly. Oh, and the knight. So, yeah, you got the scientist, adventurer, twins, hillbilly, knight, time traveler, and I probably just forgot another one again. Anyways, you got these characters. I think there's like 7 or something like that. I can't remember what I just said. And you have to choose 3 of them to go into the cave, and you utilize each of them. Each of them have their own ability. So like right now, I'm playing through with the time traveler, the twins, and the monk. And like the twins, they can leave a ghostly apparition of themselves. So like you can use that as like a 4th person to stand on like a platform or like or something to like activate things or like hold the lever for you or something like that. That's really cool. I like that. The monk has telekinesis. I haven't found a use for this one yet, but essentially, if there's an item that's slightly out of reach or something like that, or you want to be lazy, you can use this and he can like make the item come to him. But there's like a range to it, obviously. So like, say if the item's like directly behind this door, you can use the telekinesis to get it. The time traveler has this gliding ability or something like that. So like she could teleport herself across a gap, even though you can really jump any of the gaps. It's nice, and I'm pretty sure you could probably use that to get like behind doors or something like that as well. So, yeah, those are 3 characters I've been going through, and you find these cave paintings scattered throughout. I'm pretty sure they change obviously between like which ones you're playing with, and they slowly open the story of like, you know, what happened before, so you can at least get like an idea of the character, so they have like a little bit of a backstory. But beyond that, I mean, the main focus of the game is these puzzles, and they're relatively simple, for the most part. I mean, like there's one that like I had to think a little bit more about. Like I don't want to say anything because it's like I said, half the fun is the puzzle aspect of it. Much like if you were to play Professor Layton or something like that. The fun of that game, obviously, not only from a story, is also the puzzles that you have to attempt to go through. So trying to look at a guide sort of like ruins the fun of it. But that's like that's the whole focal point of the game. Anything I really should mention? The controls are really simplistic. I mean, because I mean this game sort of like comes as a spiritual successor to like point-and-click games, so the controls are going to be fairly simple. They're more platformy, so if you're worried about like point-and-click, don't worry. You know, you got a button that jumps, you got a button that uses to interact things, you got a button to drop things. There's a button that uses the special abilities and whatnot. Obviously, you move around. It's all very, very simplistic, and it's a lot of fun. I mean, I could see most people probably finding a way to pick this game and play it. Pick up this game and play it. Because it's not that difficult to really grasp or anything, so that's a real plus, especially if you want to target more people. Overall, though, I'm just enjoying this game. I don't know how long the game is because I've played like a couple hours of it, and I mean some that's also the records all of me trying to figure out a couple of the puzzles, like the one I was just talking about, where I had to like think a little bit outside of, because not all one of the things is not all the puzzles are self-contained in an area. You'll find it out rather quickly, I guess. But you have to like maybe go to another area and bring like something back from there to another area, to the other area or something like that. It's some of the puzzles are like that, and that's really cool because I mean it opens up because this cave is huge. I mean, there's a scene very, very early on where you have when you're picking your 3 characters, because that's the first puzzle actually. Oddly enough, is picking your 3 characters and having them stand on this platform so it collapses, so you can actually go into the cave itself. As you're going into the cave and you're falling, you'll see like all these rooms, and you'll definitely be going by. I'm pretty sure you'll be going into these rooms very later on. But it's just cool because it's like, wow, I'll be going there at some point. I'll probably be going over there at some point. It's just, and I get to encounter a loading screen. That's a big thing. This game's like huge. Like I said, like you'll be seeing like rooms that you'll have to go to, and you know, I haven't encountered a loading screen. So the loading screens and the loading times are very seamless. Because It's not like you enter an area and it loads it quickly and then you start playing again. It's just bam, there it is. So like you could take an item that you get from the beginning and you can probably just bring it all the way to the very end of the game. It's like that basically, and there's no loading screens. I think that's really cool. What else do I have to say? I mean, if you've played any of Double Fine's games, you sort of know what you're getting into, especially writing wise, because Double Fine has a very very honed in kind of humor, and it definitely shows in here. Much like Stacking or Psychonauts or something like that. The writing is very top notch. It's what you expect from them. Gameplay's fun. It works. Anything else worth mentioning? I don't. Like they might. I could see them probably putting DLC out for this game too. As well. Maybe like an extra cave dweller or two. Maybe. Because that's like the only thing I can think of, or maybe like a Game Mode Plus or something like that, where it's the caves like harder or something like that. Oh, I should also mention, I don't think you can die in this game. I don't think so. I don't know, I could be wrong. Probably am. But dying's actually really hilarious, because the cave sort of like comments on it, like, you can't die in the cave, or okay, now you're just doing this on purpose or something like that. It's one of those kind of writings, like I said, very tongue-in-cheek. So, The Cave by Double Fine. Highly recommend checking this game out if you haven't already. It is a little on the Xbox. It's like 1,200 points. So it is a little on the expensive side, but it's totally worth it. I mean, anything Double Fine does is fantastic in my regards, at least. I think they're a fantastic company. So definitely check that out, The Cave. And until next time, keep on gaming.